Hey, awesome ones. Hey, Heather, what's with this made-up fan that you have here? Well, as most of you know, I'm 62 years old now, and I don't want needles. I've never had them. Never had them. I don't want any surgery or anything like that on my face. So I've had to figure out a way to go from this to this, which is a way of doing a facelift with makeup. And I've kind of really studied it because I don't want them needles. So let's just see what we can do here. I'm going to show you in this video the eyebrow technique. Do you see up here how this is pointing upwards? So your eye is moving upwards. It's elongating the face, giving you a little bit of an eye lift here. Also, the eyes themselves, I have hooded, droopy, what's the other word? Downturned eyes. And I have actually sort of given them a subtle swoosh. Sorry, I got a cold. Not a big swoosh, but a little subtle swoosh there. And also defining with a good foundation, a good contouring, a little bit of blush, and also those jowl things, I'm trying to camouflage those. And also, these nasty little marks, these age spots that we get. Let's cover them up. Let's do our own little mini facelift and let's go. So awesome ones, here I am keeping it real. I don't have any makeup on, and since I've had a cold for a few days, I might be looking a little bit rough, but we're going to show you the magic of makeup. And as I said, this video is going to be a little weird because I'm going to do just half my face in a kind of facelift makeup tutorial, if that makes any sense to you. And yeah, the idea is I don't want you guys thinking, oh my God, she just photoshopped that or she did this or that. I'm going to show you the real face, folks, and let's see how we do. Now, you really have to have a nice smooth base to work with before you put on any makeup. So let's talk about the night before or maybe a regular routine. With me, I did do a video on my top 10 kind of youthful tips, and in it I mentioned coconut oil, which I absolutely love, and also a collagen moisturizing cream, especially for around the eyes to kind of keep those wrinkles at bay. So now that I'm starting with my makeup, let's just pretend this is in the morning. My face is actually, I don't have a day cream on. I'm going to be using a primer in a second, and that's going to be the base for my makeup. All right, so let's start with the primer. I like to use this primer. I'm going to be doing a full coverage because I'm trying to show a bit of a facelift here. Oh, and by the way, in the first comment, you guys have been asking for this, so in the first comment, I'm going to put a link back to my blog, and I'm going to show you probably 90% of the products I actually use, or something very, very similar, like in maybe the lipstick, I don't get exactly the same, but I'm going to find something similar. And we make a little bit of money on that, and that just helps us to keep on making videos, so thanks a lot for that. Now, this particular primer, I just sort of put it on my hand. It's kind of like a day cream in a way. And, oh, this is weird. I got to do half a face. So let's put the primer on. Down on my nose. My nose is so, especially under here, it's a little rough because of this cold that I have. But, neither rain or sleet or a really bad cold are going to keep us away from doing these videos. Right, Bill?
Absolutely.
He's got a cold too. Now, I do put the primer underneath my eyes, but I don't put it on my eyelids. Now, you might think, oh, that's weird. How come you don't do that? I just find that when I put the eyeshadow on, it kind of doesn't make it that smooth, and it really doesn't help me. So I'd rather set it with something afterwards than have it very difficult to apply. Okay, so concealer time, and boy, I got a few things to conceal. I'm using a brush like this. So I hope you can see that brush. And here's some concealer. Now the concealer is usually the same make as my foundation, and I usually have it a little bit lighter than the foundation, okay? So, Bill, if you want to do a close-up here, these are some dark spots that I have, but you know, age spots, whatever you want to call them, but they're actually getting lighter, and I really think that coconut oil is helping me with that as well. So I'm going to go over those because I want them to dry nicely, you know. Oh boy, I got a few of these things that you can see. So now let's do underneath the eyes. So I have to shift over here so I make sure I don't poke my eye out. I got it. Anyway, so with underneath my eyes, I'm going to also go up in here, this area, a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of purpley in there, so I like to brighten it up a little bit. And as you know, my favorite blender are my fingers. I got 5 of them and they don't cost a lot of money, so I just find that I get really a little bit more of an accurate look with that. I also have a dark area here. Don't know what that is. Oh, and you know what? I just discovered another dark area that I have in my, right here. It's a vein or something up here, and I was noticing with some of my makeup videos, I went, geez, I didn't do a good job putting on that eye powder, but nope, it's the vein that was popping up. So, you know, hey, this is life, mature women. We find all these new things, and the magic of makeup is a great help with that. Okay, so let's apply some foundation. And as most of you know, I love these little thin sponges that you get in a lot of cosmetic products, and I think you can buy them on their own as well. I just wash mine all the time, so this one's probably lasted quite a long time. And I'm using a thicker foundation. Sorry, I'm gonna cough. Ah. Okay, I'm not going to, because I'm a professional. Anyway, so yeah, I put a little bit here and just rub it on there. Now, this should be interesting, trying to do half a face of foundation, but here we go. You see how nice that coverage is? Oh, and by the way, I did a video on the full coverage makeup. I'll put it up there somewhere. Some really good tricks as far as putting on a full foundation. And I just don't have time to get into every little thing with this makeup video, just because it would be so long to, you know, drag out how to do the hooded eyes and how to do this. Oh, you know what? I need a little bit more. Let's not skimp on this, because this is our coverage. And if we're going to look like we have a little bit of a makeup facelift, we need to cover some of those nasty spots that I've got. So right here, you see them right there? Bill, maybe you can see that there a little bit closer. I've put on the, look at that. Covered it right up. Nobody's going to be able to tell my age because of my age spots. Oh, you know, and it gives me confidence, and that's the whole thing. I'm not saying, hey, you got to wear tons of makeup or anything. Just get that confidence back, you know, and I think that that's one of the most important things with all my videos. That's what I'm trying to say is, you know, you're awesome, whatever age you are, just maybe the little magic of makeup helps get the confidence back. So as most of you know, I used to be an 80s model, and let's cut to the 80s model. Yep, that was a long time ago, but I have learned a lot of things about makeup, and that's why I'm sharing a lot of them with you. So let's do the eyebrows now. Now, my eyebrows, the hairs are kind of falling out. It's true, it's weird, but that's what's happening. So I'm going to use, I love this little pencil with a spoolie on it. And again, I'll link back in my blog and the first comment, look for that. So let me just brush these little hairs that I have left up. And I'm going to kind of follow, Bill, if we can do a bit of a close-up here, the natural line of that. This is a lovely taupe color too. I don't know if you can see that. So I've got the silver coming through with my hair and a little bit of blonde still. So yeah, I don't want to make that big Groucho Marx squarey thing. You know that it just seems to be so popular right now. No, I think that if you did that and you're trying to do a makeup lift kind of thing, all people are going to see are your eyebrows. So my suggestion is don't do that. Let's keep it natural. All right, so I've done that. Now, what I also, this looks a little bit messy, but this is a clear mascara. And I'm just going to take some of the excess off. And what I want to do is just brush those hairs up. Now I also have suggested a wax, which is nice as well. But today I just wanted to show you, just in case you can't find the wax, this works just as well. So as you know, one of the things about aging for me anyway was my big eyes started to turn downturn and droopy and hooded. And actually the very first video that I ever did was on hooded eyes, and it's actually the most popular. So I'll put that up there for sure. You got to check that one out. Now for the sake of time, in this video, I'm going to do a real quick version of it, but let's get into that one right now. Now I have a lovely, I love this eye palette. In the hooded eyes videos, I was going for purples and pinks. I think I'm going to show you the brown ones for today. So let's see what we can do here. Now, for the sake of time, but also to show a more natural look, I'm not going to do the eyeliner on this. So, but I am going to do a little bit of a highlighter. So you'll see that I'm just going to put this in the crease here. Or sorry, on the lid, I apologize. On the lid there. And I'm going to put a very light amount on the brow bone. So we're going to have a little bit, you can always see I'm getting a little bit of a lift already. So we're going to do that. I just used the spongy part of this. And now I'm going to use this part of the brush here. And I'm going to put a little bit of shadow, a lighter shadow, so if you can see that, a lighter shadow, and I'm just going to place that along the natural kind of crease that I have here. I'm not going to make anything too phony, although that little woof looks a little phony, but I'm going to blend it in a second. So there you go. And I'm not going to go too far in on this either, just a little bit. And remember, I got that vein thing happening up there, but yeah, so again, I'm going to blend this out with my fingers. And I'm going to use a brush like this. It's kind of narrow and broad. I'm going to do the darker brown because I want to open up my eyes. See, I'm not using a liner. I want a nice softness to opening up my eyes, and I want to attach that. See what I'm doing there? I want to attach that to that. So now we've got the eyes really opening up, but blend, blend, blend. Whether you blend with a cotton swab or you blend with your fingers, we just really want to make that look natural. All right, so you can see the folds of skin in here too. That sounds so terrible, but hey, you know what? It's real. I'm going to use, I'm going to use the darker, I'm trying to not get the mirror in and it just gets, anyway, so the darker color here, and I want to hide all those folds that are happening. So I'm just going to go like open my eye a little bit and go in the crease here. See that? Right in the crease. Get rid of those folds, but don't go too high up. You don't want a big looking like somebody, you know, punch you in the eye or something. We just want to make sure that it's in the crease here. Okay, mascara time. I love this mascara. I will link this back to my blog. It goes on like a dream. It doesn't smudge, at least for me, it doesn't smudge anyway. And it also comes off when I take my makeup off like a dream. So yeah, I really want you folks to know about that one. I'm just going to take a little bit of this excess off here. And what I do with my mascara is I just put it on lightly. I don't like it clumpy, so I'm putting it on lightly. And in between doing other things, I'm just going to put on probably another 2 more layers of that. Now another product that you guys know I love, 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 love is the Anti-Shine Cream. You remember when we used to just sort of put on the loose powder and more loose powder? Well, now that we're getting older, it just seems to dry up our skin and make us look more wrinkled. So I love this, and I'm just sort of going to put this some of the places where I'm shining up a little bit, maybe here, maybe up there. You can see the big shine happening under here, so, you know, put a little bit under there, and no more powder makeup, or powder, no more powder. Now I just did another layer of mascara, and as you can see, I'm brushing upwards, not side to side, and this has got great definition, and the second coat works much better than just putting a whole glumpy bunch of mascara on. Now we're going to talk about blush. For this look, I have a pinky kind of, I want to look natural. I think I told you that. So I'm just using this beautiful brush here, a little bit of blush, and I'm just going to kind of put it in the apples of my cheeks. I think that's what they're called. Just a little bit here, not too much. And the rest we're going to do with contouring. So let's get to the contouring. All right, so I like to use, this is kind of like a bronzer powder, contouring powder, but it's not shiny. You want to get something a little bit matte. Now this is really where the magic of some of the facelift comes in. So I'm using a brush like this, and I'm putting that on. Now, they say when you get older, your nose gets bigger. I don't know, but, and looking at this other picture of me, you know, they might have a point there. So when I'm doing the contouring, I want to really make sure that it looks natural. I'm going to do a little contouring here and underneath the nose, just subtle. I also want to do those cheekbones. Again, just running into the blush, not all the way down, just running into the blush. So you can see the definition that I'm already getting here. And then the big one, this is the biggie. You know these little folds that start happening under here, yuck. So I want to hide them. Now, not a lot of people are looking at you like this and looking underneath your chin, so you can really kind of hide them under like that. And now you can start to see the whole way that I'm looking, you know, more definition. Let's just see what we've got so far, because there you go. Haven't done the lips yet. And there's the other side. No Photoshop. Loving it. But we're not finished yet. We're going to have a little bit of this sparkly highlighter, and please don't overuse it. I'm using a brush like this. No, this is the wrong brush. Hold on. I'm using a brush like this. There you go. And that way I won't put too much on. And I'm just going to put it here. You know, you want to have that little natural glow. You're trying to get rid of shine, but then you want to have a little sparkle. So we're going to do that. A little bit here, maybe even a little bit up here. And then one of the places I love to put a sparkle, I use a little teeny weeny brush here, and I just put it in between my eyes. And I've just got that, I don't know, pretty little sparkle happening. Twinkle in my eyes. Okay, so now for the lips. I'm going to do half a lip. This ought to be fun. But I also did a video on lipstick, and I really think that for a lot of us older, more mature women, you know, we start to get these little lines here. Bill, you want to do a close-up? I'll let people in on these little lines that I'm getting too. And I find that if I'm not using a good lipstick, or if I'm using a lipstick that might be a little too red or something like that, these little lines start to suck up the lipstick, and you've seen people with this kind of dilemma going on. and it's just not pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I showed it in that video that I showed up there, a lip liner. So and what I want to do with the lip liner, this also helps your lipstick to stay on, is just sort of kind of fill it in. Now you notice it's a really natural, pretty color for me. Goes with my blush. And because it's the lip liner, it's not going to go up into all those little wrinkly things that are happening. Now I'm also using a lip brush. And I can get some of my favorite lipsticks that you can see. This poor little guy, he's almost done. But I can just get right in there with my, my lip brush and still get some of my favorite lipstick on. Okay, so now for the famous envelope trick. I'm going to show both sides with the envelope here. Here. There and there. Now let's look at every individual part of my makeup facelift that I have here. The eyebrows. Do you see the difference in the eyebrows? How one is really pointing upwards, it's making your eye look upwards. The eyes. How we have a little gentle swoop here. We've got the mascara on. We've opened it up a little bit underneath here. The under eyes. The difference between lines and bags and all that kind of shadowy stuff underneath. We've lightened it up, and we've also put on the anti-shine cream so that we have the, you know, we don't have sort of a lot of pancake makeup that we've had to put on in powder. The contouring. There's definitely a definition here of a more youthful appearance, kind of like this kind of thing, you know, where, I don't know if you can see that again, but where the, you know, people can see definition in a younger person's skin. Also, underneath here, you know, there's, even though I do my exercises and I'm trying to get rid of all this at nighttime, I'll do a video on that one day, but also with a little bit of under contouring, we got that going on, and then a little sparkle there as well. So I hope you can see the difference between the facelift, between this and this. And I really hope it helps you, but don't go away yet, because I just want to bring in the cuteness factor. Okay, so here's the cuteness factor. Hey, Hurricane. Hurricane, do I look a little bit strange today? Oh, you still love me when I look like this? Anyway, oh yes, he does still love me, even though I look very, very weird. Well, and we love our subscribers, by the way. You guys are like so awesome. And if you want to join our community, it's fantastic. I mean, we're all sharing and helping each other. There's a button down there, so yeah, please subscribe, and we want to continue making these videos, don't we, Hurricane? And we're also introducing lifestyle ones, so I'm getting Bill involved and Hurricane involved, and it's all just great, great fun. So in the meantime, Hurricane, you want to go for a walk? I promise you I'll put my other face on, okay? I won't go out there two-faced. All right, folks, until next time, keep it awesome. Love you guys. Take care.
Everyone's invited to subscribe and join us on our videos.